Are you thinking of moving to Charlotte, North Carolina and looking for someone to tell you what it's really like? Well, on this episode, I'm going to give you the good and the bad of what it's like living right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, I'm Joe McIntosh with eXp Realty, and welcome to another episode of Carolina Salute, where we cover everything Charlotte, both north and south of the border. I help people move around this city every single day. So whether you're 1 day or 100 days out, give me a call so we can get you the information you need. And don't forget to like and subscribe above so you can get the information. We're here in Charlotte and we're talking about pros and cons. The first pro that I'm going to talk about is going to be the economics and the job opportunity. Charlotte is the #2 banking hub in the country outside of New York City. All these buildings behind me, the majority of them are banks. Bank of America is headquartered here. Wells Fargo has a major operation here. Truist is headquartered here. So banks and finance here are really big, but it's not just finance leading the way. You're gonna have names like Lowe's, you're gonna have names like Nucor, you're gonna have names like Honeywell, who all have huge bases here. So Charlotte really does offer a lot. And let's not forget about manufacturing. There's 145,000 manufacturing jobs within the Charlotte region. Red Bull just committed to a $170 million campus here in Concord, which is just north of the city. And there are many other large manufacturers who are committed big money to factories here within the Charlotte region. And so when we talk about Charlotte and its economic development, we can't leave out the airport. Charlotte Douglas is an incredible airport. You can take 180 nonstop flights to 26 different countries. So no matter where your job sends you, odds are good you can get there in one flight. And if you have to take two, you're still doing all right. The Charlotte Airport is located on the west side of the city, and when you live within the city limits, or what I like to call within inside 485, which is the loop that goes around the city as you look at it on the map, any time of day, you're no more than an hour, and that's in the worst traffic ever. Odds are good you'll be able to get there in 30 to 45 minutes to catch your flights and be on your way. And so I'm gonna talk about a con. I'm gonna go back and forth so you don't feel like I snowballed you on one or the other. When we talk about Charlotte, kind of the first con a lot of people are gonna think of, hey, is gonna be traffic. I know you think, Joe, whatever, everywhere it has traffic. No, really, we're probably one of the 5th worst within the Southeast. You know, we're not gonna have the miles of taxi cabs like you might see in a New York City or a Boston, but Charlotte's the 15th largest and #5 fastest growing city in the country. Over 100 people a day are relocating here, and the large majority of them drive car. So traffic has gotten bad, and I'm gonna go straight into my second con, because they kind of go hand in hand. My second con is, hey, our public transportation kind of lags behind some other very major metro areas. Whether, you know, if you're used to being able to jump on a train or a bus or a light rail or some sort of other reliable and time-reliant public transportation, you know, here you're really not gonna have that. There's not a ton of walkable areas. There are a few if you wanna live downtown here. Downtown's extremely walkable. If you wanted to live in, say, maybe Noda and kind of within some of the neighborhoods right outside of downtown, those are walkable neighborhoods. But we're gonna be very car reliant, so it's something to think of if you're like, ooh, I don't drive, I don't do cars, or if you have kids who are getting to be teenagers and are ready to go off to college and they're very car averse, that's just something to think about, because our public transportation is kind of lagging behind. Charlotte does have the link system, which is a light rail, a blue line and a red line that they're working to expand out and to bring people from the outer parts of the region into downtown to work and into the business centers to work, but it's just not there yet. So, you know, in conclusion, between traffic and our public transportation system, just a little behind. Be prepared to sit in traffic, get you a podcast, glass of coffee, and let's all get home safe. My #2 pro for Charlotte is gonna be quality of life. Charlotte routinely ranks in the top for quality of life of its citizens here because of its access to education, its access to health care, its access to jobs, and its affordable quality of living. Now, hey, I know I'm gonna probably take a little bit of hate mail there because anybody who's been here knows, hey, Charlotte has gotten expensive, but in comparison to other major metros on the East Coast or even the West Coast, it is still an extremely affordable city. We talk about healthcare, I swear, I think there's a hospital on every other corner. I'm being a little silly there. But within each quadrant of the city, there are major medical facilities. So if you've got family members and you're moving with them and hey, you're worried like, oh my God, is that gonna be okay? Hey, yes, we've got incredible doctors here. We've got an incredible children's hospital. So you're safe, you're taken care of, you're gonna have quality of living, and you're gonna have affordability. My next con, and it's kind of a pro con, and I'll hit on the pro for it, here a little bit later, but the con is gonna be the weather. It's hot. It is hot and humid in the summertime. Ladies, you're gonna curl your hair and it's gonna look beautiful, and it's just gonna be little crinkles by the time you got to where you are going. So the humidity here is really something that sometimes gives people pause and they think like, is this what I want to do? But hey, it's not forever. Every now and again, hey, we're gonna have the triple digits and weather's gonna get over 100 degrees, but it's not like Arizona heat. It's not 100 degrees from April to October. We're not melting fences and trash cans, all right? It's gonna be a little bit of humidity. You just kind of learn to live with it. But with the humidity also comes mosquitoes. You might think everywhere has bugs. Hey, we rank in the top within the country of mosquitoes. So when you go outside, try to get your little kiddie pools dumped over, try to get rid of your standing water. You're gonna learn very quickly why everybody has a screened-in porch instead of an open-air porch. But if you sit on your open-air porch and you don't light all the citronella candles and you didn't take a bath in bug spray, you're gonna sit here routinely like this, and they just really take away from the enjoyment of being able to sit outside. So humidity and mosquitoes, they're here. You're in the South, you just kind of deal with them. My next pro is gonna be our cultural and recreational activities. Charlotte's a city that really embraces the arts. So if you're down at the Mint Museum, who gets exhibits from all over the world, you can see incredible art from incredible artists from all over the world and even from different times in history. Those exhibits are gonna come to Charlotte. You can go down to the Mint Museum with your children and view them. The Mint Museum, I remember going there as a kid, growing up here. It was always, as a kid, you really don't appreciate it, but it is somewhere your kids will go in school, they will go down to the Mint Museum. Another really awesome museum here is gonna be the Levine Museum of the New South. It's an awesome place. They've really covered the history well. Go down and check it out. The Levine name is gonna be a name you see around Charlotte. You may not know this. The Levine family is who started Family Dollar. The first store was actually down on Central Avenue. The Levine family has given a ton. They're very philanthropic. They've given so much to the city. They gave the Children's Hospital. So if you see that name around, now you kind of have a little bit of background to it. Also in Charlotte is, hey, we're gonna have Carowinds. Carowinds, a really fun amusement park. They've got day passes, you can get season passes. They've got a water park. Half of the park sits in North Carolina, half of the park sits on South Carolina. It's just a straight shot down 77. Should be able to get there most days in 30 minutes or maybe 40 minutes to an hour, depending on what part of the city you're coming down from. And for our outdoor enthusiasts, for your recreation, you're looking for things to do, check out the U.S. National Whitewater Center. You can try your hand at whitewater rafting. They've got a ginormous rock wall. You can ride a zip line down. You can ride your bike and run down paths. Sits in kind of the northern part of the city, just off of the Catawba River. Anything you want to do outside, you can do there. We've also got two incredible lakes. I've covered Lake Wylie in depth in some of my videos, but you can go to Lake Wylie or you can go north to Lake Norman, rent a boat, buy a boat, go play in the water. There really is a lot to do here. Another amazing place here that you can take your kids is you're gonna go down to Discovery Place that is just downtown, and your kids learn science and technology and they don't even realize they're learning. I remember going there on many school field trips. It was the first time I ever sat in an IMAX theater and really saw the wonders of what that can be. They do a dinosaur exhibit. They're gonna do your underwater, undersea world exhibits. It's a lot of fun. It's even fun for parents. I know sometimes as parents, you're like, it's another kid's thing. But hey, this is actually a whole lot of fun. Something else I wanna highlight is the Children's Theater. Your kids will go there in school also. You can go down there. We're gonna see some plays. You're gonna get some culture. It's an awesome place to go see a performance. So that kind of rounds out some of the awesome things to do in Charlotte. There are many more, but to kind of keep this flowing for you, we're gonna roll into our next con. My next con is gonna be, hey, we don't have super large amounts of in-depth cultural diversity. Now, before y'all kill me on this, just let me finish. So what I'm saying is hey, if you're looking for loads of restaurant options, whether it be like Eastern Europe or Middle Eastern or Equatorian, or large amounts of restaurants of super good ethnic food that you might have been able to find in your bigger cities, whether you're New York's, your Boston's, LA is famous for a ton of them. We might only have one. So where you've been used to having multiple restaurants to find that perfect dish that you really wanted from an amazing place overseas that you've been, you just might not be able to find that many options of it here. So that's really what I'm getting at there before y'all send me a ton of hate. Charlotte can be known as a sports enthusiast paradise. We've got the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, just drafted Bryce Young. Hey, hopefully that pans out and does really well. We've got the Charlotte Hornets for the NBA. We've got the Charlotte Knights, AAA minor league baseball team. We've got the Charlotte Checkers, minor league hockey team. And we've got Major League Soccer. Charlotte FC is actually one of the hottest tickets in town. They all play right down here in downtown and just about brand new facilities. Well, the Panther Stadium's been here a while. I rode down to that in middle school. But the other facilities really are brand new. They're a lot of fun. Charlotte's Knights games, go catch a game under the lights with downtown cityscape, and behind you have some popcorn, take me out to the ball game. Also within the area of Charlotte, hey, we don't have a Power 5 conference team here for college ball, but within 2 to 5 hours, you could catch ACC or some big time SEC games if you went down to Atlanta. And hey, maybe balls and pro sports aren't necessarily your thing. If you're into cycling, you can just drop down to Rock Hill. It's about 30 minutes out of the city. It's a world-class BMX track there that I covered on my Rock Hill video. Also down there is a velodrome. I might be saying that wrong, but it's the big ring. I've got video of that down there. Just Charlotte really does offer a lot. So whatever type of sports you're into, you can do it all here. You can watch it, or there's also a ton of adult leagues and you can get the option to participate. And again, so if, hey, maybe pro sports, football and basketball weren't your thing, you're like, man, I'm a NASCAR dude. NASCAR was practically born here in the Piedmont regions. Tons of teams are headquartered here just north of Charlotte. We've got Charlotte Motor Speedway, which hosts the Coca-Cola 600 every year, and many, many, many other motorsport events throughout the year. So cars are your thing, hey, don't worry, we've got you covered. And also here, speaking of NASCAR, is the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and it's downtown. It's a beautiful building, a really awesome place. NASCAR is not necessarily my thing, but the NASCAR Hall of Fame really was an incredible place to go, to be able to walk around and just see everything on the walls and see what's there. It's a really awesome spot. Please go check it out. My last and final con that I'm gonna leave you with is Allergies. You might think, huh? Allergies? How is that a con? Charlotte is a beautiful city. We're in the southeast. You've heard me talk of all the green space, all the trees, all the flowers, all the beautiful green grass. All of those things bring with it is pollen. And the pollen wrecks people's allergies here. If you've got allergies problems, sinus problems, you have problems breathing because of what's going on in the environment, hey, Charlotte, it might not be the place for you. If you've got parents coming with you and they've got extreme breathing problems, or you've got young kids who have been diagnosed with extreme breathing problems and they're telling you, hey, you need to be in a coastal city or super clean air, nice breezy spot. You know, Southern California is known for being that. Charlotte's not gonna be the place for you. Springtime, fall time, the allergy aisle at Walgreens, it's empty. You can't find it. You couldn't find Allegra if you had to. So just understand, it is beautiful, but the other side of that beauty is gonna be your allergies. And so the last thing I'm gonna talk to you about here for Charlotte is gonna be our proximity to natural beauty. You know, just kind of where we land on the map. Sometimes one of the reasons a lot of people pick this area is because, hey, we're a big city. We really do offer a lot. I talked to you about the economic growth, number 15th largest, number 5 fastest growing. And some of that is just because of our pure location on the map. 2 hours to the mountains, or 2 to 4 hours to some absolutely incredible beaches. The places in the mountains that you should check out are gonna be Blowing Rock, Chimney Rock, Banner Elk. You're gonna have cities like Asheville. Asheville's a super fun kind of hippie town in the mountains. A lot of fun to go up there. And then you've got Boone, another incredible place to go. It's also the home of App State. You're sports enthusiasts out there. And then the mountains. When it comes to fall, it's some of the most beautiful landscape you will ever see. It looks like an artist just went through and just painted the reds and the yellows and the oranges. It's just an absolute beautiful landscape to see when all of the leaves change. The Blue Ridge Parkway, take a drive up, it doesn't get much better. And so we're 2 to 4 hours to the beach, whether you want to go to Wrights Beach or Myrtle Beach. I know we all know what Myrtle Beach is by now, but you'll probably find, hey, a lot of the locals, we don't go to Myrtle Beach. We're gonna pick one of the beautiful beaches in North Carolina or possibly a little bit further south in South Carolina. I covered the lakes. So whether you want lake life or mountain life or beach life, but your job requires you to maybe have a hub in the city, or maybe you just wanted to live in a bigger city and have easy access out to all of these incredible things, Charlotte's the spot for you. And so in conclusion, hey, Charlotte really does have a lot to offer. We've got our pros and we've got our cons. You have to decide, hey, what is best for you and what is best for you and your family. I'm Joe McIntosh with eXp Realty. Thanks for watching another episode of Carolina Salute. Again, if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. And like I said, whether you're 1 day or 100 days out, give me a call so we can get you the information that you need to make the best move for you and your family.